Well, Thanksgiving has always been my favorite holiday. It's a wonderful time. It's carefree, it's full of family and friends and gratitude, and it always has had wonderful meaning for our family and for other reasons as well. Tom and I were first married on Thanksgiving Day. I was teaching, so I had the 4-day weekend, and so we were married on Thanksgiving Day. And then we were divorced a few years after that, divorced for 5 years, and then remarried on a Thanksgiving Day. So we don't have any trouble maintaining the recollection of when the wedding anniversaries, all of them are. And of course, in 1979, we moved to California in August, and we had no home. We were camping out virtually. And with us were Melvin and Janie Master. He was our new marketing director, our first marketing director, and I think the very best one Jordan has ever had. And his remarkable wife, Janie, who was a terrific chef and could do everything. Susan Cronin came with us. All of these people had children. And we decided that since we didn't have homes and we were all moving out here to camp out until we did have homes, that we should celebrate our Thanksgiving at Jordan Winery. Well, of course, it's a holiday, and so no one was working at the winery at the time. But the kitchen was available, and so Janie was working on the turkey. I had done my cranberry recipe and my scalloped oysters. Susan was pitching in, so we had the Masters and their children, the Jordans and their children, and Tom's parents, and we had Susan and her children. We were a jolly group. And we were having a perfectly wonderful time, having a glass of wine while we were preparing Thanksgiving dinner and preparing to celebrate. And then all of a sudden, the smoke alarm went off with its pulsating, horrible moaning sound, and then the fire alarm began to scream. And then the burglar alarm went off with a roar. You could hear it everywhere. And the children were holding their ears and running every which way, screaming, "Help, help, help." And of course, there was no one here to help because none of us knew how to turn the switches to stop all of the noise and to stop the fire department and the sheriff and the police and everyone who would be coming. And all of a sudden, in the kitchen door was Dennis, the cellarman. And he came in, he said, "I was driving along Alexander Valley Road and I heard all of the sirens going. I thought I'd better come up here and see if I could help." He was a miracle. It was wonderful. It was a religious experience to see Dennis. "Dennis, what, do you know the switches?" He went right to the control box, turned everything off. And we were so grateful. I gave him a glass of wine and I said, "Dennis, you are our hero. What are your plans for Thanksgiving?" And he said, "Well, I don't have any plans, Mrs. Jordan." I said, "Well, you do now." So I herded us all into the steps, into the oak tank room with Dennis in the center, and we have the photo of all of us in grateful posture around St. Dennis, who joined us, put a place at the table, and we had so much to celebrate and so much to laugh about. I think of all of our Thanksgivings, which have been really wonderful and memorable, 1979 is clearly the most memorable.